Alright guys, welcome to another video. I've just picked up my 80 series after about 5 weeks of waiting, so we're just testing it out. Running great and so good to be back in the vehicle. I went to pick it up from 4Stroke Garage. My man Tino over there and the whole team did a great job, and I really appreciate it. So I'm testing my vehicle now, and this is the best time. So we're just flying down the expressway. Running great so far. We also put a transmission cooler inside, so it should keep my transmission temps much lower. The jerkiness is gone, but let me continue testing and you'll catch me in the next clip. Alright guys, so we got the 80 series back. Here it is, getting the water started so I can wash her up. She's a bit dirty, so you can enjoy me doing that. It's got a bunch of dust on it, which you can probably not see, but I've got the hose pipe out. Let me get this thing cleaned. So I know I signed off with you guys, but here it is. You know, before we were having some issues, but now put it into reverse. Move around nice and responsive, and then put it in drive, can rev. Now when I used to do that before, there was a big shudder, and of course that was the valve body damage, and then of course the gears started slipping. The gears started slipping after I changed the fluid in this vehicle, so I'll do another video talking about if you should change transmission fluid, and if so, at what mileages should you change it. But yeah, that's it guys. I'll be testing her a bit more, and fingers crossed, God willing, we're gonna be good with this vehicle. All right guys, so I've been driving the car all today. Today was collection day. As you can see from the smile on my face, I'm absolutely loving it. I miss this guy. You can see him just roaring in the background, but we got everything taken care of. It just looks great, but basically I'll take you guys through everything. I mean, it was a whole process. It was a full transmission rebuild. So basically what we did with the car, we first diagnosed and found out that the valve body had an issue. The valve body is like a little sort of cylindrical maze, and it sort of guides the transmission on shifts of up to down and different gears. So, and there's these little steel balls that go through the valve body with the fluid. So it's those balls that if, you know, the transmission is not maintained and maybe there's less fluid, or in my case, the car had probably been used for some towing, then you can get damage on that valve body. And so mine did have damage. And then also because the valve body was damaged and the transmission was shifting a bit rough, the torque converter also got damaged. So we had to get both those parts, which is difficult to find, but I managed to get them reconditioned. As I, you know, going through it, the guys that sorted me out was 4Stroke Garage, a guy named Tino. In Nairobi, it's hard to find someone who you can, you know, reliably open a transmission. Many can open it and rebuild it, but to rebuild it once and rebuild it right, so it can go another 200,000-300,000 kilometers is what I'm hoping for. And basically what we found when he opened my transmission was that the bolts were really tight, everything was really tight, and all the measurements of the clutches and all the other measurements were pretty similar to each other. In fact, almost exact, except some of the clutches that were worn, which tells us that the transmission had not been opened up before, it's not been butchered in any way, and so he was the first guy to work on it, and so he could, you know, hopefully, fingers crossed, put it back together properly, and so we can have some worry-free motoring. And so, you know, as you saw from all the videos, we got all that stuff taken care of, and so we've had the full rebuild. And I've also put an oil cooler. You put a transmission cooler sometimes when you know, I don't want it to overheat again, because what I'd seen, the wear and tear from those clutches, especially the burnt clutches, tells me that high temperatures are just never good. And so I wanted to put that transmission cooler. I can show you that right now. Actually, that cooler sits just over here. It looks quite cool. So the transmission cooler is connected to the radiator, and so when the coolant is moving around, the transmission cooler is also cooling up the transmission fluid. So, you know, it's an automatic system, don't really have to worry about it, and it's just happening in the background. That hopefully sorts us out. And so here we are, guys. I don't know how many parts this series was, but it's been a long 5 weeks of me getting here, and not the easiest, with, of course, gas prices and everything going on, to have to go through an expensive rebuild. But I wanted to do it, and the vehicle is here, and I couldn't be happier. I've been cleaning it up today. As you can see, it's looking nice. And so that's it, guys. I am going to be replacing these tires. I'll take you through the tire replacement in the next video, because I'll be taking this vehicle hopefully to the WRC, so we see what happens there. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit like, subscribe, comment down below, let me know what you think. Yeah, cheers, catch you in the next one.